It is a weeding season in Anyoye village, Alali Parish, Aloy Sub-County in Aleptong district, where Jacinta Okello and her husband are busy working hard in their garden. They would like to stretch the 12 hours of daylight to put in a few extra hours of work. They're hoping that the hard work will pay off and provide them with enough food to feed their family and to have some left over to sell to take care of other needs. The districts of Oyam, Otuke, Aleptong, and Lira in the Lango sub-region were the most affected by the insurgency. It is here that the government of Uganda, with financial assistance from the government of Japan, through the UN Trust Fund for Human Security, funded the Northern Uganda Early Reconstruction Project to spearhead the resettlement and recovery of the returnees in the region.
The government of Japan extended the fund of 3.8 million. The life of the people in this region has been normalized and improved. So I hope this project will continue improving the life of the people here who suffered a lot in the past 20 years.
Working through 3 UN agencies, United Nations Development Programme UNDP, World Food Programme WFP, World Health Organization WHO, and their implementing partners in the region, the project was intended to assist families like Jacinta's to restart their lives when they return to their homes.
The project was established to address primarily the plight of the people who had been suffering from close to 30 years of war with the Lord's Resistance Army, in order to begin to address their immediate humanitarian problems, but also to bridge from humanitarian assistance to development assistance.
WFP has contributed in rehabilitating community access roads. We have established 4 central nurseries that produced 1.5 million seedling. We have trained 4,000 farmers, 50% of which are women, and we have set up satellite collection point equipped with post-harvest handling equipment.
The number of health facilities offering normal health services increased from 11 in 2007 to 20 in the year 2010. The number of health facilities offering the immunization services also increased from 16 to 19. The prevention of mother-to-child transmission of HIV/AIDS that was just restricted to some few hospitals, with this intervention, it went beyond the hospital.
The Northern Uganda Early Recovery Project focused on 4 main areas. 1. Resettlement and recovery. 2. Livelihood enhancement and provision of opportunities for local economic development. 3. Improving access to health services. And 4. Peace building and reconciliation. One of the kickstart activities of the project was to help the returned former IDPs settle back into their home areas by opening up the community feeder roads. This would ease mobility of the returnees as well as the service providers, so they could easily reach the targeted communities in the 16 sub-counties of the 4 districts.
My name is Susan Awori. I came here before the road was rehabilitated, but today it is a much better road and we are very happy.
Seeds as fast-growing crops such as beans, maize, groundnuts, cassava, soya beans, and sorghum were distributed to the returnees to help them start agricultural production right away. In addition to the seeds, they were also given agricultural implements to help them open up their land for agriculture. Already organized into farmer groups, the returnees were able to work together to plow their land to grow food to feed their families. The surplus would be sold in order to get some money to take care of their immediate needs. I am Akelo Jacinta from Anyoy village. I benefited from the food security component of this project. I was given beans, soya beans, simsim, groundnuts, and cassava. Since we got this assistance, we are food secure. Ogwal Sam is one of several farmers in Lango sub-region who donated a portion of his land as a demonstration garden.
We started 1 year ago, and as of today, I'm building a house. I have bought some goats which I look after. I even have a shop. All this has come from farming.
In order to expand the acreage and increase incomes of the farmers, UNDP through World Vision supplied oxen and ox plows to beneficiary groups. Training was also provided on how to use them. In addition to the agricultural skills, the farmers were also encouraged to save some money from the sale of their produce. This led to the formation of the Village Savings and Loans Association, VSLAs. By the time of the project closure, over 90 groups with 30 members each had been formed in the 4 districts, with savings amounting to over 100 million Uganda shillings and a projection of up to 900 million Uganda shillings within the next 1 year. The saving, which is also loaned out to the members at a nominal interest rate of 1 to 2%, has created a friendly borrowing culture in the community.
My name is Sophia Ogwang. I'm a farmer. After selling my produce, I borrowed money from my VSLA to top up and buy a bull. I have goats and chicken too. I have also built a permanent house.
The training, as well as the continuous interaction with the VSLAs, has helped the smallholder farmers to start bulking and marketing their produce collectively as a way of bargaining the market price in their favor. The World Food Program helped the communities to set up the stores as bulking centers for their produce. As a result, the surplus of staple foods such as maize, beans, and soya beans that are sold through Farmer Association members has improved farmer incomes dramatically. So far, the income of 60,000 individuals in the 10,000 households has been transformed through agriculture and non-agricultural activities. World Food Program contracted the International Lifeline Fund to work with the local population to restore the natural resource base. Aleptong was the most affected district during the insurgency. Sam Orach is one of the community members who has embraced the forestation campaign. Mr. Orach has already planted many acres of eucalyptus and several other tree species, including 7 acres of pine trees. He also sells some of the seedlings to other community members. The project has worked with both primary and secondary schools to establish environmental clubs as one of the ways to sensitize communities on the importance of conserving the environment. The project also established 2 energy-saving stoves to meet the domestic energy requirements, as well as those of a few institutions. The stoves have been tested and have proved to be very effective and efficient, as they reduce the cost of fuel by half and are capable of saving up to 70% of the energy generated.
We used to buy a full tipper at 90 or 100,000, and that would take only 2 weeks or less. You can now only use a basket trip in a day.
Some of the students are now promoting the use of the stoves in their own villages. Using local radio programs, the project was able to increase awareness about the environment conservation efforts, as well as peace building within the 4 districts. Part of Northern Uganda Early Recovery Project's goal was to ensure that the returnees were in good health when they returned home to restart their lives. The World Health Organization was able to provide access to basic medical services to all the communities within the project area through the government structures. The project also supported the 4 districts to mitigate the impacts and the effects of HIV through preventing mother-to-child transmission of HIV and offering antiretroviral therapy ART services to the underserved area.
We are treating 5 tropical diseases. 1, we are treating lymphatic filariasis, that is hydrocele and elephantiasis. 2, we are treating intestinal worm. 3, we are treating bilharzia. Then 4, we are also treating trachoma.
The project trained several health workers on how to manage the neglected tropical disease and installed nearly 3,500 impregnated tsetse fly nets across the 4 districts. The World Health Organization also trained district officials on sustaining good surveillance systems to contain the disease prevalence in the project area. Both facility-based and community-based surveillance systems were used to monitor the trends of the disease. Over 2,600 village health teams, VHTs, were retrained and equipped with tools to enable them manage the cases.
My name is Tiang Elizabeth. I have taken my child to the laboratory and they are still processing the results. For those of us who do not have money, the improved services in the hospitals have helped us a great deal.
To promote peace in the sub-region, the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, working in partnership with World Vision, has facilitated the formation of peace rings, an informal system of arbitration in which the local communities come together to amicably settle land, domestic, and other disputes. These peace rings typically consist of over 30 members each and based at the sub-counties have been instrumental in settling disputes. As a result of their input, the number of cases being referred to the district authorities have reduced significantly. As a final handshake to ensure sustainability of this service, each of the 480 members of the peace rings were given a bicycle to facilitate their movement within the communities.
Since I became a peace ring member, I am respected in the community.
As the project comes to an end, it is clear that it takes a long time to attain full recovery and commence normal development after a crisis. The central and local government, as well as other development partners, need to respond to the new needs in order to consolidate the achievements and sustain the good practices and lessons learned from the Northern Uganda Early Recovery Project. Initiatives such as the Peace Rings have great potential to benefit even more communities if mainstreamed within the local and central governance structures for peace building. The many successes arising from this project in the area of agriculture, environmental protection, health, and most importantly, in maintaining peace. All these efforts have sown the rays of hope among communities in Lango who are healing from the scars of the past and are now opening a new chapter for a brighter future.
The integrated approach, this joint programming, this joint implementation, this looking together to all the aspects of the human living is also a great lesson that we should build on.
A lot has been done, but there is much more to be done. And let us not erode the gains that have been made.
The impetus for any development work is that the community itself must take responsibility. It is easier to be supported on something that you're committed to than to be supported by something that belongs to somebody else. What you would want to have is that 5 years from now, if you go to Amadat or any of the districts, you should see the effect of this project on the ground. Then my message to the community is explore possibilities where you take ownership. It should not be, and it must not be, a UNDP World Food Program, WHO intervention. It must be an intervention by and for the communities. All we are there to do is to support them.
Northern Ugandan Early Recovery Project has been implemented successfully, thanks much to the efforts of the three UN agencies and together with local district governments.